What's up, everybody? Balisong Underground Podcast number 2.
Numero
We got
dos.
two great things going on with you today. We've got my man Nardath here joining us as a guest.
Francois.
Yes, Francois. And
Most people call me Frank.
Frankie. And we got our other guy here, our co-host number 2. Or host. We're equals here. This is
something like that.
This is everyone's gender neutral here. You know, equality. We got Billiam Boyd in the house. Sir
What's
Billiam.
going on, guys?
Oh man, it's good to have everybody here on this cast. Fucking all of us have been in here for a long time, and I've been really excited about getting a show with all of us together. Well, everybody was here for the BT days, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I believe I remember. I think Billiam was probably the young one of us for the BT days.
Correct. I didn't get too much into BT until like things at the JD started going shit, and I was like, well, I need a new home. This isn't working out too well. So I was kind of on the back end of that as well as like the flipping arena, but I was around.
I was a little of a late add to the DP. It was launched privately, and I didn't get in until like a month or two after it became privatized.
Yeah.
Or it was,
I was a little late coming to it as well. They had like that secret society, and everybody had their numbers and shit there for a while.
I noticed because the became pretty ghost, and I was like, oh, this is kind of a weird time.
Yeah, it's like where the fuck did everybody go? Oh, B-Tech. Oh, Galaga. Oh, I get it now.
Everyone was like saying, roll 6, and I was like, what the fuck?
One of my favorite things to do was like take out the / roll, and I would just put in whatever I wanted, like rolls and gets raped by a bunch of dudes.
I feel like every time I got into the Zat, like I just saw 666 just constantly just being rolled.
Well, I had
like how that happened all the time. I don't understand.
I had a ping image file saved of the D6, so instead of actually rolling, I would just upload a picture of the D6.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
Yep.
People started posting the 6 roll.
Yep, and I had a 7D as well, and that didn't go over very well.
But the BT went through a couple different chats until we settled on kind of a BT chat, but it never picked up as much as that did though.
Yeah, there was something more communal about the flipping arenas yet. I don't know what it was, but yeah, there was definitely more activity in the FAs yet.
Yeah, we can always just go trace back and be like, oh, the year before was so much better than what's going on now.
But the thing about that chat is that it eventually withers away. Like you can only go so far, right? But the BT chat, you could go back and back and back, kind of like Facebook now, you know?
Yeah.
Where,
like nah, bitch, you said this 3 weeks ago.
You can just go back. Yeah, exactly that. Like if you said something or someone posted a picture of a dick, you would just write a lot of letters, and eventually it would just wither away.
Oh yeah, I could just.
One of my favorite things was like Fake would go into the code and he would edit what somebody would say.
I do remember that.
That was awesome.
Yeah, I think all the admins had that power, but Fake definitely abused it more than most.
Oh, dude. Giving Fake admin status was one of the greatest disasters that's ever happened.
That was
when entertaining
towards
for
the
sure.
end, was it? When BT was still active.
Yeah, but Fake was like constantly writing the end line. You know, he was always almost out of the game. And now he's just
Still is.
completely out of it. Is he still living in a van on the beach or something now?
I don't think so.
He's a diesel mechanic. He's a diesel mechanic living in the woods, I think, with his dog.
So he's living in a truck on the beach.
He's not a freegan anymore, which is good for him.
Oh, that's a step
Yeah.
up. Okay.
Yeah, he used to do
Definitely.
festivals, like recycling, like picking up recycling,
Yeah.
and then doing a lot of like drugs and
So like a
recreationally.
like a homeless person.
Slightly. I mean, he's got a dog. I mean,
He's straightened out now, I believe. I believe he's sober now. I thought, but I think he's like kind of like hippie status, you know.
A sober Fake.
yeah, he's always been pretty close to that.
Never thought I would use those
all
two
of us
words right
old
next to
dudes.
each other.
All of us old dudes kind of ride that line somewhat too.
Yeah.
But a lot of us got older and responsible and have other things to do.
Responsibility's a bitch.
Yeah.
Adulting.
I think somebody needs to hit a dog right now.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go close this door. Hold on.
Okay. Fucking dogs. My cat's fast asleep, so hopefully she. Oh no! I looked at her. She's awake now. Fuck.
So speaking
I
of
loaded
old
mine up with
flippers,
NyQuil.
Here.
What, Bill?
so speaking of old flippers, I was watching the first podcast episode, and I was just letting it autoplay and everything, and then it finished, and it went to fuck, I can't think of his name, but it's just like one of the most iconic like YouTube like pro reels.
Blade Junkie.
Slipping my no.
Matt
Calvin
Newton.
No.
Ooh,
Oh well.
Matt Noda.
Let's skip this. This is a bad idea. Anyways, we'll watch the podcast later. We'll figure it out. But yeah, it's excellent, and it was
Somebody
just so
didn't take
nostalgic,
notes.
right? Notes are bad.
What are
Don't
notes?
give me notes.
I'm not prepared for this. There's no notes taken.
No, hell no.
Yeah,
Me
it-
either, man.
We're winging it. This is just a chat.
I was actually watching or listening to a Kendama podcast before this.
Of course
Oh,
you
no.
were.
Dama Nerds is called.
Oh man, that's pretty wild. So how long has Kendama been a big thing?
Since Nardath
Well,
picked it up.
Yeah. No. Apparently, like, there's videos edits now that are like 8 years old. So like 2011, 2010, people start to pick it up.
So kind of like with Balisong. Once like the YouTube stuff took off, that's when everybody had this platform to really show all these flow arts and stuff off.
But they had legit companies with legit demos and comps and meetups, and it was throughout the states. It was pretty big, and now it's still pretty international. It's kind of died down in popularity, but a couple years ago, like, it was still really big, and there's still like huge comps.
Yeah, there's a huge comp in Japan every year, right?
Wow.
Yeah, KWC, which is like the Kendama World Championships, and it's in I'm not sure, something Japan.
I didn't realize there
Yeah.
was
What's
a
like the
competitive
prize
scene.
pool for that?
I won like $1 million yen.
It's like,
Like
10
grand
bucks.
or 15 grand.
10 grand for Kendama. Jesus. All right. That's pretty
good.
dope.
It's basically what I've suggested is that the Balisong community could learn a lot from how they do things, because it's a simple skill toy art turned into a pro legit live comic.
Where's the
Yeah,
money
but,
coming
With
from?
like hundreds of people. Like the companies do it.
So these
So
It's all just
companies,
like in-house sponsored.
these companies must be way more profitable than people like Blade Runners or Squid or Jerry Hom to front that kind of cash.
Yes.
huh?
They make huge runs of lots of Kenamas, and they sell and they advertise. It's a big wheel, you know.
Now, how do they
I think there's,
advertise
like,
differently than
kinda
Balisong
two-
companies?
Well, I think it's a bit more popular, and they do a lot of like outsourcing. They actually go and make events, go to schools, show like the discipline and the basically like how it can help kids disconnect from basically just devices, and they use that like, as a safe alternative. Like Balisong doesn't have that kid friendly aspect to it.
Yeah.
I think it
that's
is
what I was
going
gonna
to
bring
that
up.
direction. That's what trainers are going to, more
Yeah.
kid-friendly environment.
Most of the people who flip trainers are the kids. You don't see a ton of adults going around and flipping trainers. So that's one thing. But you bring up a point I was going to go to is we have this severe limit where not only are what we doing are things with weapons, but they're also illegal in a considerable amount of states and countries.
And I think it's important to use the term Balisong instead of butterfly knife, especially when referring to trainers, because a Balisong doesn't have that edgy, weapon illegal feel to it. But a Balisong, whether you use or omit the word trainer, I think they could get into schools and advertise properly that way,
Yeah, I hadn't considered it. I do know that years ago, before we all were in this, Blasto said that he went to a school, like an elementary school, and he was showing off his, back then he was the best, and considerably now he's probably still the best with doubles. And he was telling a story about how he started to have a spot in his mind for trainers because when he was doing his presentation, he got cut. And some of the kids were a little freaked out by the blood. So
yeah, it happens.
Oh yeah, 100%.
You know, there's definitely a spot for trainers, I guess, but there's a fine line because people feel really undermined by the progress that they put in to do something, and then when somebody gets a lot of recognition or tries to run a bunch of clout on something that they did with the trainer, a lot of people take offense to that.
It almost feels like two separate disciplines. You know, you've got the trainer flippers, and then you've got the knife flippers, and there's a lot of people, myself included, where it's a knife first and foremost, not necessarily a fidget toy. You know,
Right.
Yeah. Now, to kind of bring this in a different direction, I remember, Frank, when you were getting into things at the BT, you were in the Navy, right? You were like on the ships and stuff all the time. You had like this little tool or something that you were flipping around and...
Oh, a spanner.
Yeah. I remember that. You were like doing a couple videos with that. That was pretty cool.
what was that? Is that like a Leatherman?
No, it's like a wrench that you use to open up valves. Or no, to put on like fire hoses. It's like this spanner thing, and it's balanced like super. You can do taplings and stuff like that, so you can do tricks with it. That was super early, man. Like
way early, dude. That was when Wiggs was coming in too. That's when FA and BT still liked Honor Her. Not to get into that whole thing.
I was I had the first the bad feelings against HH, but I mean that's all the past. Like that.
That was eons
everything's
ago.
pretty smooth over now.
I got a lot of heat for hating on him, but then everyone realized eventually that he was like, yeah, it was kind of weird.
Yeah, it was a shit show for sure, man.
I think we've all been in some kind of shit show, myself included, a few times.
100%.
No way.
Yeah, I've been stirring shit up on Reddit. I kind of stopped.
You stir shit up on Reddit?
I
No way.
love seeing
Not a
your posts on
thing.
Reddit. My karma is so far in the negative on Reddit just because of our Balisong. Oh, that fucking
Yeah.
place.
Speaking of
I'd
which,
really like
Billy,
to see what Frank's karma is at, like on Reddit.
Billy, you're gonna have to be our Reddit connection because like my account got locked on Reddit. So
Oh yeah, you were
I
telling me
don't
about
think I
that last
even
night.
made an account on Reddit. I think the last time I looked at Reddit, like somebody challenged me to a battle on Reddit, and I'm just like, I don't use Reddit. Like, why is this a thing?
It's a good time waster at work. It's a good memes, a lot of funny videos, a lot of fucked up videos. So I don't post on weekends because I don't go on my phone. I just go during the week when I'm at work, right? So
Reddit was
and Monday's like the shit post day. They call it Circle Jerk Monday. So like every day, it starts off my week so great. It makes me feel good for the rest of the week, and just like
I've made some memes for that for sure.
Reddit was so hard for me to navigate. I did not understand that app at all. And then I learned that there's porn on Reddit, and now I'm an expert.
That's all it took.
I think everybody's
I
been
have to
sucked
keep the
down the
porn
road.
off, so I don't use Reddit for porn because I only use it at work, so I can't just like start
There you
liking
go.
stuff and pop up my feed.
Facebook at work and Reddit on the weekends, man.
Reddit gone wild, man.
Oh, that's probably a subreddit, huh?
Oh yeah, dude. For all you kids listening.
Think like there's a subreddit for every single hashtag you can think of, right?
Oh, I
For
have
sure,
learned
dude.
some things.
And then I've learned that Stu has basically like a group for everything, so he can just like tag groups in Facebook when he wants to say like "Okay, Boomer" and shit like that. Like the shit's comical.
Oh, I love
one of my
tag
favorite
groups.
ones. One of my favorite ones. It says, "I don't like Ohio."
One of my favorite ones
Don't
is
blame him.
hi, my name is, or no, it's hi, my dick is who? My dick is what? My dick is chicka real tiny. Lots of semicolons in that one.
Oh man, that's wild.
But yeah, kind of getting back to the Kendama thing, I think like Kendama was able to blow up, like compared to like Balisongs, like in a competitive sense for a couple reasons. Like obviously we hit like the legality aspect. I think another one is just like barrier to entry, right? Like up until a couple of years ago, like it was really difficult to get into Balisongs without spending a good amount of money.
Oh yeah.
I can go onto Amazon and pay $12 and get a Kendama delivered to me tomorrow.
You can go on Amazon and buy a trainer for $12 as well.
Yeah, totally. But that trainer's not gonna last you. I don't know how durable your $12 like kendamas are, but
right now you can go and get for $20 you can get a kendama that'll last you a couple months for sure.
right.
They do
Whereas
either way. They're woods, right? So, but that's how
right.
companies
If you go
keep
into a
coming.
Balisong group and you say, "Hey, I got $20 to spend on a Balisong. What should I get?" Everybody's gonna laugh at you and tell you to save your money. So I just think it's a two completely different monetary system there.
I mean,
Yeah, and like as a kid, if you go and ask your parents, "Hey, can I get a kendama for my birthday, or can I get a butterfly knife trainer or a Balisong trainer for my birthday?" The parents can be like, "Kendama."
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
So what's like the average cost of a good like mid-tech kendama?
Nowadays you can get like depending on it all depends on the company. But like now, if you're willing to spend like $50 for a kendama, then you can get one like out of maple with like because there's like modern shapes now. Like so, the shapes are always evolving to like how the game is progressing.
Huh.
So like the paints and the bevel sizes and all the angles are changing. So if you get a modern one for the modern tricks, if you're willing to spend $100, you get a handmade US one, right? That are spec'd out to this pro guys, But basically, if you're willing to spend $60, you can get a really good kendama. Like I bought one recently with $65 in US. And it's like arguably the best kendama. Like it's just got 5 different types of wood, and it's got all the woods in the right spots. So,
are people with kendama like similar to how like Balisong flippers are with knives? Like do people focus on the kendamas as much, or is it more focused on the skill?
Yeah, I think there's the exact same scenario where you have collectors, then you have the players, the pros, and then you have like the good in between, the people who just do both. Right? Has a bunch of kendamas and that are wicked players as well.
It's interesting.
They don't travel; they just post on Instagram, right? Like, but then you have pros that are like 100% do nothing else but play kendama, travel with comps, post on social media, make videos, and that's it. That's what they do.
Wow.
And there's like a dozen people like that, or like that'll run a company or that'll play with a company. So like they'll work as a day staff, help out with the editing and the social media stuff, and then they'll travel around, do the comps and demos all around the world, which is fucking dope. Like
right. So there's actual professional like kendama players.
Yes.
That's awesome. Very cool.
Balisong community should definitely learn, or like thrive to go to in the same direction, because there's like live comps monthly around the states. Right? Like
I think we are kind of limited by the amount of constituents we have too. Like we kind of said earlier, I don't think BRS can really afford to keep, a guy on the payroll and give him gas and food money to do stuff around the United States.
There's also not monthly competitions.
Other smaller companies.
But like the
you
toy
can have
industry, right? Like they do stuff in China, they get it. The profit margin is significant. Like it's a token.
Right.
Like they make a lot of money. So
their biggest expense.
And they've been at it for like 8 years. So like they've been pumping out fucking kendamas all the time, making sure people rebuy, right? So
yeah, their biggest expense is like advertising and stuff like that.
It's all social media. It's all social media.
Yep.
And now sweets you can buy them at Target, which was a huge boast, and they just go straight from China to Target. So it's like super high profit.
Yeah, I got one for my niece and nephew this year for Christmas, kendama. So it was pretty cool.
Nice.
I think another like big aspect too is for advertising. Like obviously social media is huge, but with Balisongs, like you can't even promote them or advertise Balisongs on Amazon, on Facebook, on Instagram, nothing. Like you're fucked basically as far as advertising goes.
Yeah,
so it pretty much limits you to the social media.
Yeah, I know the firearm industry too. They were hurting so bad.
Oh,
as
yeah,
far
definitely.
as that's concerned.
Boo-hoo.
Even now on Instagram, if you like click some knife hashtags, it'll say right at the top that we are limiting some of your results because of I can't
Yeah,
remember
Eric,
exactly what it says.
Wow.
50 Blades brought that up
Yep.
one time. He was like, they're like ghosting some hashtags, like
Yep.
nice nuts or like all these like nice ones
Yeah.
for whatever reason, and we have no control over that. Like,
Yeah, it's a product of the medium. They are determining what they want their platform to be, and it's kind of up to us to either use their platform or not.
I think that's another reason to use the term Balisong instead of butterfly knife, especially trainers considered.
Yeah.
So,
Oh man.
Nardo,
guys.
no, you're good, man.
That's good, man.
What Balisong are you flipping these days? What's your favorite Balisong to finger?
so lately it's been the tab. It's been the tab.
Yeah.
Gotta go with the Chab.
I recently traded my Bowie 3.0, which was my main before.
That was a Venom, right?
Yeah, it was a Venom Bowie 3.0. And that was my favorite knife. And then when I got the Chab, right now, usually in the wintertime I flip my rep, but it's been down for maintenance for a bit. Like I've been cleaning the scales, cleaning the liners, putting that back together. But now it's been mostly Chab.
That's a process with the rep, cleaning those things, disassembling, reassembly. Oh man.
I heard a magic eraser is
I struggled
clutch.
too, taking it off because I hadn't taken the part in so long. Everything was rusted. I had to saw off one of the screws.
Oh Jesus.
Oof.
It was a good idea.
That's wild.
I've taken
Yeah,
my
man.
rep apart once.
I've taken one rep apart for somebody to remove a latch for them, and it was a fucking nightmare.
There's no reason to take them apart unless you're going to do mods for sure. Like there's no
100%.
Yeah, and even now, like I think modding, that's a different section of the Balisong world altogether.
Right.
Modding,
Sure.
Oh yeah. There's members that are
huge
strictly
chunk.
devoted to modding. They're not necessarily flippers or collectors, but they are profiting off of that side of the market. Yeah.
They're like the ricers of the knife world.
Oh, totally. It's exactly how I look at
That
it.
stance. Yeah.
You'll never see me mod my car ever. Like I always said that. Like I'm never doing modifications to my car.
Nope.
Aesthetics.
I think
maybe
most
the
flippers are like that. I think most like hardcore flippers they're not into the whole modding.
Yeah,
scene.
they just want to flip that shit, you know?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
not gonna buy a knife if I have to mod it. You know, that's just asinine. It's like I'm not gonna buy a
Yeah.
car if it's not gonna be a good car unless I mod it. What the fuck?
Right.
Like I like that you can get like the Basilisk with like different spacers to see what you like. Like that's the type of mods that are good. But really, if most people have, it's hard to say. Like you can't say that everyone has preferences, but everyone definitely has preferences when it comes to balance. So having that option
100%.
is good. But when your knife is already designed perfectly, like there's no.
Yeah.
So just to kind of get back into like a little more about you and what we just discussed there. A lot of people don't, if they don't know you, they really should, because you've had some videos that have gone viral with millions of views and stuff like that, like in Russia.
You're the
So,
poster boy
wait,
of Balisongs,
point four,
literally.
yeah.
But when you are flipping or doing a routine, are there different knives you like for doing different routines? Like, there's two big things about your style that I want to key in on. You did a lot of pioneering of the reverse style. That's what most people like you for. And you do that bumpy style tabletop type of aerial stuff. Between those two styles, do you prefer a different knife to do one or the other?
Yeah, for sure. I think aerials itself, I prefer a lighter knife. I think it's easier on the fingers.
So like
more
a rep?
of a neutral. Yeah, like a rep or a 42. I found it's easier in the hands. It's less destructive, and it responds. The center of gravity is less like of a. I find if you have something like a cab, the center, when it spins, is not completely in the center. It's more like a helix or like a...
It's hollow, kind of.
Yeah, it's like it's not like, if the center of balance is more towards the pivot, then you'll find that it responds in the air like a straight line. Sometimes I find...
I like to think of it more of a circle, and just keeping, like the center of the circumference in a sense.
In the center, yeah. So, but stuff like tabletops, I find something that has a bigger side surface, basically,
So
like a BD.
You need weight on the outside to keep the momentum going, then, huh?
Yeah, just like when it's laying down flat, like a tabletop, if it has like wider angles, like or wider handles, it has a bigger surface to lay on the hand.
Yeah,
so, that makes sense.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I think pretty much everybody in the community who has a like going to your reverse style or something like that, or say Stu style, where it's very momentum oriented. I think almost everybody goes to, say, Alpha Beasts or something of that sort, because it's one of the best at the momentum style of flipping.
Oh yeah, the booty weight for sure.
Me and Nard had a challenge back in 2013, 2014. That was all momentum based.
Wow.
Battle of the Beasts, right?
I believe.
Yeah, Battle of the Beasts.
We both used the Alpha Beast because that was just prime for keeping that momentum going.
I'll drink to that.
I think it was all reverse and then all one direction.
Well, yeah, it was. I don't think it was reverse, but it was all in the same direction. There was no ricochets allowed.
It was
no
all counterclockwise for you right-handers. And for me, I'm looking at this video, right? I'm a left-hander, right? I was just learning how to flip. I'm like, how the fuck are they flipping in that direction the entire time? Whereas, like, with you guys, it was normal, like, direction. But for me, it'd be all reverse. So, like, that was, like, a big, like, clicking moment for me in flipping, is watching those videos, actually.
And that was the first time that I was able to slow down the video, and in the top left corner, I listed out what trick I was doing exactly.
Correct. Yeah, using like your Balisong basic terms in a sense as well there. Like,
correct.
This isn't a behind the eight ball. This is a 0G index chap to a thumb chap to a 0G, index roll or whatever.
Yeah, broke it down
to its very individual basics.
Yes, yeah, I skimmed past the Y2K instead of a thumb roll, and yeah, in 8-ball, took down to Chaplin to 0G chap or whatever it was. Which
I think is the modern way to do it. I think, behind the 8-ball is the past. I think breaking it down to its individual parts is the future. Maybe tricks like behind the 8-ball and like helix, things that have cemented themselves as like a core trick and having a name will continue to be done as so. But like your obscure stuff like 0G reverse mid roll to thumb roll, that won't ever be called anything other than that.
Yeah, and you can't tell somebody how to do that. Like you can tell somebody, learn the giraffe. Well, what's the giraffe?
Yeah,
what's it
I was about to say
of?
We have all these animal names now for, we got like giraffes and cats and hippos and.
I think a giraffe is just like a
platypus.
It's like a scissor up to, and then like reverse, index, vertical roll, and then 2 ring chap.
But it's got this weird bite handle scissor though.
It's technically, I think the way when I talked to Bally Freak about it, he's the guy who invented it. It's a double bite handle quote. Yes, it's a double bite handle scissor to a reverse middle roll to a ring reverse chap. Yes, is the proper. But I think a lot of people are shortening it to just basically the reverse middle roll to the reverse ring chap.
It's always evolving, man. It's crazy. It's not
right.
It's
but
not
if
like
we broke it down
where...
that way, we would know exactly what people were talking about rather than calling it a giraffe.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The thing is, like, when you're in skateboarding or something, a trick is so easily defined because you only get like one opportunity to get the board in the air. That's not like that with Balisong. It's always in your hand and it's always moving. So
correct.
It's really hard to like isolate like, okay, that was a kick flip or that was a double kick flip.
Right, it's almost like dance choreography in a sense.
Yeah, exactly. That's a really good I like that. That was a really good analogy.
Oh yeah, totally. Like everything does have a name, but if you were to like make a long, flowy combo to like name all those tricks,
You could spend.
For one, there's no purpose. Like, why would you just people just
Right.
like,
Yeah,
don't
you
worry
could
about what it's
spend
called.
15 minutes trying to explain a 10-second combo.
Right.
You know,
Easily.
it's that intricate. So, and what's funny, and I think is really cool about what goes on in the community, like what you guys do over at BRS, Billy, is you have the Try This Thursday. Is so many cool things come out of that and it's not even the actual trick. You guys will show something, and then people are doing stuff that's close to it, but not quite it. But it's good and it looks
It
good.
works.
And I think
Hey,
people need
you
to
learned
stick with
something
it,
new
you know?
from watching this. That's
Content comes out
all
of it.
that I care about. Good stuff. Yep.
In fact, I don't know if you guys know this, but the choker fan that Sir Horse Choker came up with, he came up with that because he couldn't do a trick that Fake was doing. It was that choker fan entrance, but instead of going between the fingers, he was going directly to backhand and then fanning it back into an open position really fast. And Choker couldn't get that. Choker couldn't get that, and somehow figured out that you can just roll it between his fingers and come out of it. Man, it was crazy.
I remember when he was talking about how he was building this trick, and he was like, I'm working on this, and it was when the lab was on the BT, right?
Wow,
So like,
I forgot about
that.
that.
It was one of the lab posts that really picked up, and it was like, really became a standard trick, right?
I was talking to Todd McFarland night before last, trying to get him to explain the move to me, and he was telling me that it's where he spins it between his fingers, fixed blade, and then he goes into Z choker, and he can do it multiple times. And he figured that out because of a trick that I can't remember who it was, but it was because of a trick that somebody showed him that he couldn't figure out. So it seems a lot of tricks come out of that way.
Yeah, Todd McFarland is Pivot Screws on Instagram, by the way.
Kind of just going back to calling tricks in different names and getting things like messed up. I got a lot of flack for doing reverse behind the 8-ball on that Blade HQ video wrong. And it just kind of reminded me going back to the lab, and there was actually a thread on reverse behind the 8-ball, and I think there was like 7 different ways that people were doing reverse behind the 8-ball.
I did a video.
Jesus.
I did a video on
I remember
5
you had one,
ones.
KZ had one, Vincent had one, and Nard had one.
I had one.
No, mine was highlighting different ways you could do it.
Yeah, you had
I
like
saw
3
that.
different ways. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember how many, but I saw that early on. I was like, wow, people are doing these a bunch of different ways. I should make a video showing that there's more sides to one trick, and it's just a cool thing, man. I love shit like that so much.
For sure, yeah.
I think me and Stu, I think I posted a video of Stu, I think it was the Snatch?
Yeah.
Is that a trick that you made? I think I made a video and where I was like, okay, this is Stu's Snatch. So this is my Snatch.
I love
Stu's
Stu's Snatch.
And then I just showed the difference between the two, because it's all every style, the way your hand is shaped, the way that you see the knife, the way that it feels in your hand is different for everyone. So they're obviously going to come up with different ways to do the exact same shit, and it's going to look different on video.
Well, it's just like the cherry picker. Nobody does a cherry picker the right way. Fucking nobody.
Cherry picker, hellish, hellbent.
You're telling
What's the
me a
difference?
cherry picker is not a 0G mid roll to a index roll to a fucking thumb rollover?
The cherry picker does not belong in the middle of a combo. It is at the beginning of a combo. Period.
Yeah, it starts and
For sure.
starts and
I'm just
ends
giving you
is the one
shit.
thing.
Oh man,
God damn it, Bill.
what a wild ride. You know something I haven't quite seen? I haven't seen someone throw a latch drop into a combo.
That's because people don't flip with latches anymore.
No,
Yeah, fucking assholes.
Oh, come on.
Unless their name's Stu.
I
Hey,
do
I
latch
was
drops all the
pro
time.
latch till Blade Show. And then that really threw me into the latchless movement. But,
Yeah,
I think that's where
it's
Stu
weird.
has learned to flip latchless his Blade Show, because he's picking up other people's knives, right? And like none of them have latches on, so like if he wants to flip other people's knives,
Look, I've always been able to flip latchless, okay? I've never not been able to. I
Here
just
we go.
I choose not to, because again, first and foremost, it's a knife. It needs a lock.
it's a safety feature. I agree. I think if you're especially carrying it, like you need a sheath like to carry. You know,
I'm spending
a
money on the
Balisong if
knife.
it's
I'm not going to
latchless.
spend extra money on the sheath. I'm not made of money.
Right.
Yeah. To me, it kind of depends if I take a latch off or not, because I really like the way the 42 latch, or I should say the T latch, feels. I think it's one of the best lash designs. Most people disagree with that, but I think it's one of the best ones because it just moves out of the way so well.
I recently, so before I sold or traded away my 42, I had it lashless, and I sold it or traded it for Gunny, or to Gunny, and he got it lash put back on, and I rebought the knife off him, and then I got the 42 back with the lash, and I was like, fuck, I hate this thing.
Is that the one? Is that the one you dropped down the waterfall?
It is, yeah.
Oh,
yeah, man.
I traded it away to get the tab, or I can't remember what knife I had traded it for. Or to get the Bowie. To get the Bowie AB.
So tell us.
My 42.
Tell us the story about losing the knife on the waterfall. That's so entertaining, especially about how you got it back.
Oh yeah. So basically, we were in. It's a place called La Manche, which is a camping ground that have trails that you can walk around. There's like waterfalls and there's lakes. And you can jump in the water. Like it's an actual watering hole where I dropped it. But I dropped it. I was just my wife was taking a video of me flipping next to the waterfall, and I did this like. I was trying to do this around the world to aerial double scissor, and it's a tricky knife, and it easily slide out of the way, right? So, and sure enough, I did it, and then I fucking flicked it down the waterfall, down into the waterfall.
I'll never forget that face.
Oh yeah.
Yes,
and
the
my
face
wife was like, I called it.
Oh man.
And how far?
So how did?
The drop itself, the rock face, was probably like 30 feet. Oh yeah, at least 30, 40 feet. And but I mean, it just hit the rock face, and then blooped in the water. And then I was like, there's no. This was like October, so it was getting cold. It was like there's no way I was jumping in the water for it. It was way too far down. I had no gear. So basically, it ate at me for 2 weeks. And then one Saturday, I was like, okay, like, I have a friend of mine who's into diving gear. He's like, let's rent your gear, and we'll go with me. And it's like an hour hike. So it's an hour drive to the spot, and then an hour hike to the waterfall.
Oh, man.
We had scuba gear, and all our shit, and you jump in, and it literally took a minute. Not even.
Wow.
And he said, like, he went down, and it was super murky, but it was like, it's titanium, steel knife, like it reflected in the little bit of light that it reached down to the bottom. It was probably like 30, 40 feet, maybe less. It's probably more like 20 feet. But it was like super rocky, and it had like a overhang. So like it must have fell, and then it fell underneath the overhang. So like it was wedged in between some rocks. And I took it out, and nothing was rusted. It had like PV washers, so like around the PV washers, the steel had like rusted a little bit, just to clean it off. And it actually was better than before I dropped it in, because before it was like I used it a week of camping, and it was just gross and shitty, like didn't feel good. But once I had it all cleaned up, it was great.
Yeah,
that's a testament to Benchmade 440C.
Yup.
Yeah, well, what some people don't realize is that you need oxygen in order for things to oxidate, right? So when it's actually underwater, it slows down the initial rusting.
And it's freshwater, too. It's a flowing freshwater. So
right on.
It doesn't have ponds to build anything. And it was 2 weeks. It was only 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It must have been a long 2 weeks for you.
Back then, I can't remember if I had an Alpha Beast. I think it was pre-Alpha Beast.
Like, I think it's important to note that Frank loved his 42 so much he tattooed it on himself. Like, this is how much that he wanted to go get this 42 back.
So, funny story, the knife that I have tattooed on me is my original 42. Because when I first bought my 42, we went to Boston, we sailed there. Me and my buddy both got one. So, shot my parents for $300 over the counter. And
we thought you were crazy.
Recently, I remembered that the guy who sold it to me said, "Oh, I have this one that's missing one latch screw, or missing one pivot screw. I'll trade it to you for like $120."
Damn.
I was like, "Nah, give me the new one." And back then I didn't know a thing, right? So missed out on that opportunity. But,
yeah, I remember you buying those when we were at the arena, man, and we were all laughing at you that you paid $300 for a 42.
Oh, exactly. So I knew I overpaid, but for me it was the only way at the time to get a 42. I remember because the first time I sailed, within 3 months we sailed 3 times in Boston. First time I bought the Bear & Son 3-inch. The second time I bought the K1. And the third time I bought the 42. And then I remember when I bought the K1, I was like I remember being like, oh, this is way better. And then when I got the K1 is when I started going on the flipping arena, and I'm like, oh man, 42. There was one there. I should have fucking bought it.
Dude, I remember getting my first 42. I thought it was fake, man, because my first knife was a spider fly, and I thought I got ripped off. I bought mine from Happy Donut, and he sent that and another spider fly with it that I sold for $90, by the way. And
I was flipping.
But I remember flipping it, and it flipped so well, and it was so light, and it was so good. I thought it was fake.
Yeah, I was flipping Jaguars, nothing but there for a while because I lived next to a kung fu place that sold knives and shit, and then I bought a Cold Steel Archangel from a guy on Blade Forums for $50, and when I got it in the mail, I was pissed. I was so pissed because it felt so light and so cheap. I was like, "There's no way this is a good flipper," and I actually traded it off eventually for a Kimura and a machete because I hated it so much. But
Oof.
Don't regret it.
I'll go back to my story because I forgot now. Me and my buddy both got 42s at the same time, so I started flipping the 42, and I flew to St. John's to meet my now wife, but she was my girlfriend then. That's when I got the tattoo. So I flew to Halifax, or from St. John's, from Halifax to St. John's, spent a couple weeks there over Christmas, got my tattoo, and when I flew back, airplanes, in St. John's, when you have duffel bags, they put it through the x-ray, they found the 42, and they took it. They took my information, but I don't think it went anywhere because it must have been so cool someone must have pocketed it because I never got a call from the cops or anything. They just took it. So I was like, oh, okay, whatever, take it. But then a couple months later, I moved to St. John's, and my buddy was like, okay, I can see you're really into butterfly knives. Do you want this 42? I was like, yes, I want this 42. So I traded this 42 for an iPod Classic 180 gigs. You know the ones that were like rectangles?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That and a K3 Kimura.
Nice.
Jeez.
So it was a good trade.
Yeah, it was a good trade.
So this one up here is not the one, because when I got the tattoo, I went to the store and I put the knife on the photocopier, and I was like, do this right here. And you just scaled it down to like 70%. But that knife is the one that's confiscated.
Oh.
Sorry, the one I had is not my original 42.
So speaking of your tattoo, obviously like the location you're in, like Balisongs are not a legal thing. Do you ever get like negative attention because of your tattoo in public or anything like that?
It's funny, most people think it's their garden shears.
That's great.
And then the other half say, is that a switchblade?
Oh, jeez.
Right. Yeah, I get that a lot.
And like I got it when I was like active member of the military, like full time, and they didn't give me shit.
Has anybody ever looked at it and say, "Oh, it's a nice Balisong, a nice butterfly knife," or is it always wrong?
Yeah. I've had Filipinos actually come up to me and say Balisong.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah. So like, but most people don't really. Yeah, they kind of like. Yeah, no, not really.
I don't know if this rumor exists where you guys are, but like I always get the it's a big rumor down here, but everyone's like, "Oh, well, if the blade is the size of your hand, it's illegal or whatever."
Oh yeah.
It's a big rumor here, and it's like, all right, well, how big are your hands, dude?
Yeah, no. What I tell people here is that the Balisongs are as illegal as nunchucks, brass knuckles, and automatic assault rifles. They're the same class. They're considered a prohibited weapon in Canada.
Jesus.
So you're not allowed to own, sell, you don't do nothing. You're not allowed to. And I don't think, I know in New Zealand wigs, like, he can apply for permits for import. Like, I don't think he can do that here.
Well, I think that has a lot to do with his occupation.
Career.
Top status.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was actually a little upset with Wiggs for what he did with me because do you guys remember for a while that Blasto tsunami that was going around after Blasto passed away?
Yep.
Well, I can't remember who did the trade, but I was kind of the intermediary for the trade, and I was sending that over to New Zealand, and he said he had to apply for the permits or whatever so I could just hold on to it while he was setting it up. So, about a month later, he tells me to go and send it over or whatever, and he never set up the permits. So he ended up getting in a decent amount of trouble for it, but he still ended up getting the knife because he was a cop. And I was just like, dude, don't ever do that again. Please, God, don't ever do that again.
At least he got it.
it's
At least he
crazy.
got it, though.
Yeah,
At least you got
but
it.
that,
At least it's
man,
not
that
like-
would have been so sad.
A lot of people wouldn't have gotten it, you know?
Yeah. Oh, no kidding, dude. No kidding.
I know a friend who helps out other friends by sending knives overseas quite frequently, and I feel bad for the guy because like I feel like every time you do that, like you are putting yourself at so much risk.
Most definitely.
But apparently
Yes,
all the
dude.
foreigners I know who flip are it's just a normal thing for them, and I'm just like, damn, like I feel bad for these guys have to put so much work into obtaining a toy in a sense. Like obviously it's a knife, but I mean they're buying it to flip it, you know.
Well,
I gotta
even-
be honest, man. I don't think I would have that kind of dedication.
Well,
No, it's a pain in the ass.
even when you're sending it to a legal port like France, things can still go wrong. Like
Yeah,
a deal
100%.
that I had way back when that got all fucked off, and I don't want to go there.
Yeah, like 5 ABs gone to the wind.
It was like 8 reps.
Probably like 100.
Yeah, it was
Bad
not a
times.
fun thing.
I don't think I'd be in Balisongs if I didn't live somewhere where it was remotely legal, to be honest. I just think it'd be way too much of a headache.
Yeah,
I'm surprised I stuck with it for so long, honestly.
Yeah, it would be a lot
to
more
me, it was
difficult.
always a personal thing. It was always a personal thing for me anyway. So it's not
Yeah.
like I was going and trying to run comp
Yeah.
here or
Right.
running a trading range. Like I think that's when I would probably get in trouble. Is if I traded a lot more. Like I think I averaged it out to like one trade a year, or like
Yeah.
one purchase a year.
Right.
yeah. I think the only reason I've been able to do the traveling around and promoting and stuff that I've done is because it's pretty legal here, at least federally. So, I can throw a knife on a plane and check bag, and it's not a problem.
Yeah, it's the same
Yeah,
way
that's
in
how I always do it.
Tennessee. I'm still weird about flipping in public though, just because of the general
100%.
perception.
Yep, never do it. Yep.
I'll
I
go
was-
out in
I
the
was
woods,
actually in a
someplace
Bass Pro
secluded.
I was actually in a Bass Pro Shop, and I wasn't even flipping. They can't even sell Balisongs there or whatever. But I'm talking with the lady behind the counter, talking about all the Benchmades and Spydercos and stuff, talking about the companies and everybody there. And I was talking with her, showed her the Balisong, and told her that's what I did. And this guy who claimed to be an off-duty cop just comes up and goes, "Oh, what are you doing with that thing?" I'm like, "What do you mean? I have a knife." And he's like, "Oh, that's illegal." And the lady had to escort me out of the store because she thought I was going to get like assaulted.
Hey, I know that cup. I got the same one.
Oh man, that's
Nardo is holding a medieval times cup for our audio and only listeners.
Well, is that like Blade 2016? Like I feel like that was a while ago.
Yeah, I think
that was
so.
the first Blade House.
I got like 6.
Wow.
He
enjoyed his time
everyone
there.
got great credit, so I went at the end and got them all because to me, like it was just they're part of my daily life now. Like it's just memorabilia just follows me everywhere. It's great.
That's excellent. I won't forget how loud Nardath and O'Leary were, like screaming at the Green Knight, who lost immediately.
Immediately. Oh.
Yeah.
Dings for days, boys. Dings for days.
Dingers all day. Oh, we had so many.
Oh man, most people don't know that the Blade House was really your idea, Nard. That was your invention.
We're doing it.
Well, technically
like,
your wife.
I think that
Yeah,
goes
yeah.
back to do you remember the FA barbecue?
Oh yes,
We
dude.
were supposed to be in Maine.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
that's what
house.
generated the whole idea of a communal
The
house.
whole idea of Blade House.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the first real big flipper meetup was OKCA 2012, right? Like that's the first time.
Yep.
Oregon was the Oregon Knife Collectors Association out in Eugene, and
Vince
we
was
did
there.
that show 2 years, and then
Wow.
I kicked a knife at the audience, and we weren't allowed back.
That was the second year, wasn't
Sounds
it?
about right.
Yeah, that was the second year. We were allowed to do 2 years out there, and then Nard did that at Blade Show like 2 years later.
That's why they're not allowed at the Bellicomp anymore, huh?
Yeah, when we're policing you guys at Blade Show, it's because we've made these mistakes before, right?
Yeah,
we're
we've-
trying to prevent you guys from doing our mistakes.
Yeah, we've been there. We've
there's
done
a
that.
clip of me and Axlo, we're doing a comp outside Blade Show, and we're both like doing like hack aerials, and I bend over to pick up my knife, and he does a hack aerial, and the knife goes like right next to my face.
We got that on film, didn't we?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah.
That was a cool call.
Not as dangerous as frisbees, but pretty close.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
He doesn't even remember how he did that, right? Because he was just throwing a frisbee, and all of a sudden, it's like he was holding the knife in one hand and trying to catch frisbee, and all of a sudden,
Oh,
he was
I remember exactly
blood.
what happened because I got blamed for it. So me and Assflow were sitting there. We're playing frisbee at Blade House, and if most of you guys don't know this, but there's a huge yard. I mean, this thing's on like 5-6 acres. So we're throwing a frisbee around, and me and Assflow are on one end, and Nard is on the other one, and Assflow has his .42 in his watch pocket. You know, that small little pocket on your right hand side that a lot of people carry their ballies on. And he goes and jumps up for the frisbee that Nard threw at him, and when he jumps up, his bally comes out of his pocket, and he smacks it with his hand that he's not catching it with.
Because it didn't have a latch, right?
I mean,
there was no latch on it?
You dirty dog.
Yep.
Oh, dang.
I think that was the worst cut of the year, right? Like there was his that was really bad, and then I think Slash got a really bad one as well. To where like day one, like Slash's hand was like pretty much out of the game.
My hands were pretty set up. I was flipping a brand new AD 3.0. Like,
oh yeah, the whole Adam Perry thing.
That was the one that never got found, wasn't it?
That's correct.
Yeah, I think everybody
I believe
thinks...
I lost that at Lake Hill.
Every
Yeah.
year we're at that house, I look at that fucking bush around the tree in the backyard and hopes
me
that
too.
it might still be there, but
Just like sticking out, just like
yeah.
the air to handle. That was a fun year, but that really ruined it for me. It's really sad. And I think, you know what? I lost it when I was looking for Adam Perry, which is what makes it so fucking fun. I remember
Yep.
we were all looking for him, and then he was talking to this black chick at the bar. And that's where he was the whole time.
Of course he was.
Oh, Adam. Always
At the
talking to
bar.
the black girls.
But yeah, that was a fun time for sure.
Didn't he
Yeah,
help
that
you
was-
get a new AB after that? Because he like felt really bad, right?
No,
something
I
similar
raised
to
money. I raised money to get him a BB
Oh, okay.
because I felt
Yeah,
bad
what-
for him.
What
Because it was
ended up
his
happening-
knife. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right,
it was
okay.
Adam's Alpha Beast.
Yeah, he gave me a 3.0 to flip during that whole week so that he can like have like a before and after basically, like a 3.0 with like Nardath for 6 days.
Yeah.
What can
It was
Nardath
getting
do with a
destroyed. It was
knife
getting
over a
destroyed.
week?
It was getting destroyed. It really was, and my hands were getting destroyed because of it too. Because it
Brand
was
new
very
knife.
sharp.
I think Blade Show 2016 was the first like I didn't baby my knives, but like I took care of them. I mostly tried to flip them over grass or carpet. Blade 2016 flipping in the basement with concrete was basically like, oh, rip my Tachyon 2, rip my Alpha Beast, rip anything I flip here because it's going to get destroyed.
Yep.
And that's,
hitting walls like double bounces.
Oh, yeah.
They did a double
man.
bounce.
I did that again this year. We still have the footage from that, right?
Yeah.
Round
It didn't
two?
really turn out too great, so I never
Yeah, I
shared
know.
that, but I have it in the archives, so to say.
Yeah. The first one didn't even turn out that good, so...
The audio's not great because we're all fucking loaded and we're all like talking over it. So like, the audio is just like, and then my voice is like super raspy. It's like,
I started recording Blade Show footage without audio.
That's smart.
Much to Stu's depressingness, because like there's some conversations that are just hilarious while we're recording.
Wait,
There's a
what?
clip
Catch
of like O'Leary talking about like beige, and everybody's like, "Nah, motherless is the way to go." And like Dave's just like, "Nah, dude, Reddit. That's the only thing
Ex-hamster.
right now." Yeah, good stuff.
Motherless.
Yeah, man.
Still on my go-tos, man.
I love that. That was one of my favorite videos.
So, I guess fun fact for the listeners: back when Narda was in primary school in Paris, was that primary?
what, Paris?
Didn't you go to went to a school in Paris, right?
No, I went to school in Italy.
That's in Paris, right?
What's the difference?
Naples, Italy. I went to
Naples.
so,
Yeah. Oh yeah. Paris is in France. God, I'm such an American. But yeah,
Italy
so,
is the capital of France.
So Nardo went to school there with who would later turn out to be my sister-in-law, Tia Baca.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's crazy. That is crazy.
She's
Yeah,
pregnant
pretty
now,
wild.
by the way.
Whoa.
I'm gonna be an uncle.
Ah, poor guy.
Better than being a dad.
A what?
I think only two of us have problems with that.
Man, it was it's pretty wild. Like, Nard's like a big world traveler from the Navy and his school days and all that.
Yeah, I did grow like what I call myself is a French Canadian, but I was a Navy brat, so like grew up all over Canada. Like you said, like I graduated high school in Naples, Italy, in an American high school. So that's kind of where I got like got my English better, like because I was always French before. But when I was really young, I moved to BC, where like I lived in an English neighborhood. So like I was going to school in French, but I lived in an English neighborhood, so that's kind of where I learned English really young, and I was always bilingual my whole life. But I always went to French school, but then in high school I moved to Italy in an American high school, so then kind of that's where my English picked up again.
Nice.
And then I came back and went back to school in Quebec, to college, and that kind of didn't go well, because my French sucked.
Yeah. Well,
so then
kind of
I joined the Navy.
Quebecians suck too, so.
Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah. Like my French, but like I always jump, like I was never really good at either language. Like I always say like I had two secondary languages because I sucked at both.
Yeah, everybody there's like four main snowbirds that come down to my area. You have people from New York, New Jersey, Ontario, and Quebec, and the only people that Floridians like are the people from Ontario.
Yeah, there's a lot of Quebec. There's a lot of people from Quebec that go to Florida, like a lot.
Yeah, and it's just funny because they all get picked on down here.
Ohioans vacation in Florida quite a bit, but you guys are like our retirement home. So like, given like 6 years, I'll probably be living down there with you.
Yeah,
we're meeting up me and Dave next month.
We're going to Disney World.
I think we're shooting for March
8. It's like a Sunday, so it'll be pretty cool.
That's what's up. Are you coming just like by yourself, Frank, or are you bringing your wife?
Actually, the wife's in-law, so it's all the in-law family, so it's all like basically all the siblings and all the spouses, and I have two, like a niece and a nephew that are going to be there. So they're like the nephew's like 4, so like he's like right up the Disney time, right?
Oh yeah, man.
So is it just like a vacation, or is there like an
event
we're
renting a house. We're renting a house and doing a couple of spots. Like I want to go to the only spot that I really want to do is Cape Canaveral. I want to go to.
Oh yeah, that's really cool, man.
For sure. So.
Yeah.
Kennedy Space Center.
Yeah,
Kennedy. Cocoa Beach is like right next to it. We like going to beaches and throwing frisbee, like on the Sandy Beach.
Oh, dude, yeah.
So we'll probably just do the Cape Canaveral and then the beach, and then the rest is just gonna be like hanging out with you one day.
It's been hot down here, dude. Like it's been in 85 degrees all week.
We just checked. It's like 30 degrees, like 31, 32.
Yeah, for you Celsius guys, it's warm. But Kennedy's pretty awesome, man. I've been up there a couple times. They're actually having a SpaceX launch tonight, I think.
Oh, yes, there was one that's supposed to happen. Yeah.
Yeah, so I get to watch them all the time.
I get the schedule, so I didn't.
Yeah, it's pretty cool if you like space and living in Florida because, all of the space stuff happens around here. All the launches and if you live out in California near like I believe it's kind of between LA and San Francisco. That's where the shuttle comes in usually, is somewhere out there. So they land over there. But since they had to launch everything out of here, we have the space station that goes over every once in a while as well. You can come out at night and it'll shoot pretty much right overhead. It's awesome.
Sick. Because
I live like, I don't know, maybe an hour and a half away from the space station.
So one of the things I don't think you get enough credit for, Nardo, is your the daily flips you started back in, 2014?
I think it was earlier. Like, it was like right after FATOC or Fast Talk. I think it was 2013.
Yeah, flipping.
Okay, I knew it was a long time ago. But you did a new trick every day, right?
Every day, yeah. Well, I tried. There's a few times where it was like just like slowly just freestyles that were just like kind of brainstorming, but most of them were just never been done for like 6 months. Yeah, it was nothing.
Yeah, it was something new every day. It wasn't just an 8-ball one day and then an 8-ball with a helix the next day. It was an original trick or set of tricks every day. That gave us something for
and it wasn't
all of us to
somebody
learn.
just doing a bunch of fans or whatever and talking about the one time that their sister stole their lollipop in 2nd grade and got punched in the mouth and knocked a tooth out.
It was usually just a trick and then a slow-mo of that trick. It was like recorded with a potato.
That's all we had
back when
back
everybody
then.
did.
Some cheering fan angle, right?
Oh yeah.
I was one of the first POV guys, right? Where like I got a lot of shit for using POV a lot.
What?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
I gave you a lot of shit for it.
But like, I remember Stu had the first GoPro sesh, like videos, but I picked up after with GoPro stuff, and then early on when you kept using the same angle again and again and again, then people like kind of called you out on it.
Yeah.
So,
Well, the reason why you kind of popularized it, and I brought this up in the private chat a few days ago, that we were all kind of stuck in our ways as OGs. We didn't really use Facebook other than like keeping up with each other. There were no real groups back then, and the only real platform we used was YouTube. So if you didn't post anything to YouTube, it basically didn't exist. And this is when Instagram started showing up and Snapchat started showing up. And you were the one who kind of went in there and kind of got flipping really into that medium. And now almost everything's on there.
Well, do you guys remember when we transitioned from using our JD or BTEC names into using our real names? Like I was no longer.
I think that was when I started meeting people, in person. Is when I stopped like using like their tag, and some people like Assflow, like I probably call Assflow Patrick like 50% of the time.
Yeah, almost.
It just kind of
still
depends.
calls me faulty.
Yeah, I still get
Right.
Fiend or Phoenix, but it's more difficult, and it seems like we're transgressing back to it. It's probably not the right word, but with so many people on Instagram now, it's hey, I'm Skooma, or I'm whatever. I don't know who these people are.
Right.
there's a lot of people.
Skooma, I love that guy.
I can't.
Yeah,
keep track.
I love Skooma.
Well, like back in say the flipping arena days, like back when I started getting into the flipping arena, I should say, is I remember counting it at that time. There were about 12 people who logged on in a 2-week basis. There just weren't that many people. You had a couple people like one of the guys' names was Range Rover who logged on maybe once a month or something like that. So I didn't count people like that, but you had people like I don't know if you remember Spider Guy.
Yep.
His name was Stephanie. He was a regular guy. You had Straight Gallus. You had Ed. You had me. You.
But I remember, like, it was a thing. You joined on the FA, you were blue, you were Smurf, and then you got your reg status, right? That was a thing. You gave your teal.
Yeah,
I think it was a
you
teal
got
color.
turned into seedweed, is what we used to call it.
Yeah.
So that was the thing. Like, you had to show that you were so active and replying to posts because it's easy to keep the chat going, but to keep the post, and that was kind of like the downfall of BT was towards the end where it was still very active, but the post rate wasn't really good because people were just always hanging out in the chat.
And that's
Right.
kind of
Yeah.
what where we're at now with the multiple chats we have going on. The groups may be active, sure, but the core people that are participating in the chats are usually the same ones that are commenting the most on the Facebook posts. And it may be different for Instagram. I'm not fully aware of that universe.
the real conversations happen behind closed doors, right?
Absolutely.
Your Balisong theory crafting and just talking about Balisongs in general, it's always happening in private chats. Whereas like somebody, like say for example, like the new Kershaw Balisong just got dropped. Somebody posted it into the Facebook group, and like pretty much the only thing people are asking is like, how is it? And then that's about it. There's not much discussion about it. Yeah. Exactly.
I think what ends up happening too is you get, as you start flipping for a while, I want to say it usually comes in around the 2 to 3 year mark, is that you start realizing that your own progress hits this plateau. And it's not the same plateau we used to talk about in the day. It's kind of similar, but the amount that you increase from video to video gets drastically smaller. So you're constantly looking for this way to show that you've been progressing. Even though you may have, your tricks have probably gotten so much smoother. Your consistency has probably gotten so much better. But
new shit.
Yeah, you can't purvey that over a video, because most people take videos 30, 40 times before they get posted on the internet.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
it's always the first
you end
shot.
up doing. Yeah, it's always the first one.
Okay, thanks. Okay.
And that's something you don't realize how good a flipper is until you meet him in person and you
live.
flip with them.
Yep.
Because like the most technical person in video could be the same guy that's dropping his knife every 3 seconds, and it's just a completely different perspective.
I'm pretty bad. Like if I were to go live comp, I would suck.
Nah, I've seen Nardath like just be like, "Hey, bet I can land this real quick," and everybody's like, "Ah, nah," and he just nails it. I think we got
Science.
like some sort of like hack aerial to Van Gogh like out by the barn that you just like one shot, and it was just super clean.
It was a double scissor to Van Gogh.
Yeah, there we go. Okay.
And it was just like, there's something. Well, that's my style. It's not even just like flowy, it's just bang out an aerial or like just do like. Basically, I was like, I saw Blade House and the property like a skate park, and I was like, okay, this is just like we can use all this stuff here and make some sick ass videos. And I was just like orchestrating shots. Okay, like you do this. There's one shot where like there's this Q deck, like metal Q deck against the barn, and I put Seb behind it. I was like, okay, I'm gonna throw this valley over it, and when it gets to the top, I want you to hit the top, and it shot the valley up in the air.
Oh yeah.
That place was sick. It was a sick like, and then there was like this big cross section really high, and there was this little platform like vertical, and then we were doing like wall taps or wild bounces really high off of it. Like,
Man, I truly missed you this year, man, because I was doing some more skate stuff this year.
Oh yeah, see, like it's all.
Dude, that skate edit was sick.
Yeah, that's pretty fun.
The old Bad Religion. I'm surprised it didn't get DMC'd for copyrighted.
I think that skateboarding mentality when I was growing up, like driving around places, and I would look at ledges and I would look at Blade House. That's kind of how I looked at like Blade House, where there's like a bunch of talent. We had 10 really talented dudes ripen for potential, like for doing stuff, and it's great, like meeting with each other and getting fucked up and stuff. It's awesome, but when there's that much potential for greatness and video making, I just can't let that time go to waste.
So speaking of that, I need some redemption for me and kind of you, because it was a perfect throw. Let's talk about that Frisbee tabletop spin. My God, that was wild. We were sitting. So we sitting.
We tried that for at least a half hour.
Well, the funny thing of it is we were sitting there, and I was trying to tell everybody, exactly what to do. Like, Nardath is going to throw the Frisbee, and as it passes me, I'm going to do a helix aerial and let it spin on top of the Frisbee and then catch it. And everybody who's videotaping is like, we have no idea what you're talking about. I was like, we'll just do a dry run and show you what's going on, and then we'll set up the cameras and stuff. And I shit you not, guys, we nailed it. I mean, a perfect throw, super flat, a nice, clean 2 spins on top of the Frisbee, perfect catch, no cameras running. And then we sat there for the next, 30, 45 minutes, just pissed off.
That's how it goes, man. That's how it goes. You can always do the trick perfectly until that camera starts recording.
I think there's one shot that I remember Blake showed that we set up. It was like four big passes, and it started in the garage or on the ground, and it went up like it went up in the stairs and open on the first ledge, and then on the
and
other
then we
ledge,
threw it down to Slash.
and then and then Dave, you were right at the top, and you threw it down to Slash again, and then that didn't work for that shot, but we redid that a couple times, and we got it, but they never got used. I don't think
I used it in one of my videos.
Well, it was so hard to video because
it was so far.
You're talking about.
Yeah.
Now, if somebody had a drone, then we would get super fucking awesome video.
Like
we need a drone.
The choreography would have to be on point though, for as quickly as
Ricky
those things
Strable.
can move.
Oh, it took a long time to set everyone up and say, all right, do this, do that. It took a good hour to set up that shot for sure.
Ricky Strable, you're bringing your drone this year. I'm telling you right now, we need this fucking video. Because I
got a gimbal for this year.
Oh, nice.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh man, that's gonna be super fun.
Robert Meyer helped me out. Kind of helped me with it, so that'll be exciting.
Nice.
Get some steady, dynamic footage going on.
That'll be fucking dope, man.
That's something we've been needing for a long time. I know me and you have talked about it for the last 3 years.
Yeah, right. It's just such a investment, right? They're not cheap to get for the heavier cameras.
Especially if you're going to get a good one, yeah.
Right.
Kendama videos actually are a lot of the good edits, like from Kendama USA. They all use gimbals, and the editing is really good. Like the shots are really well made. Like if you can make a Kendama video or a Balisong video, kind of like Kuma Films did.
Right, 100%.
For sure.
That was a sick video with Aslo and Curtis.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which also fell off the edge. No idea where Curtis is.
That's just flipper life, They're big and then they just drop off the face of the planet.
He's one of those tag whores.
Well,
Kurt, famous because he tagged like everything. Oh,
Kurt's also a high profile guy, so once he started getting a lot of attention, he bailed.
Yeah.
On the limelight. So
that's unfortunate.
I don't blame him one bit, man.
Nope.
Right. It's a very hard hobby
so
to separate from your personal life in a sense. It's either, you're all about, hey, I play with knives, or you hide from everybody you play with knives. Like there's no in between there.
Well, because there's so many people who don't flip and make videos at that level. So once you're at it, people recognize you very, very quickly.
Yep.
It's definitely that's the hardest part, is to be the videographer and the actor at the same time.
Oh, super difficult.
I always look at I made a Kendama meme recently, and about the movie Napoleon Dynamite, where you have that uncle where he sets up the tripod and he records himself throwing the football, he'll attack up and just and he throws the football at the air, and he's like, oh, that was really good. And he did it again. That's what I see myself when we record.
Well, making the Balisong videos,
when everybody's
you play many roles.
When everybody's
actor,
complaining
director,
about me,
editor.
Yeah. Yeah, when everybody's complaining about me, talking about the old days, they call me Uncle Rico. Yeah, back in my day, I could throw that football over that mountain.
You see the mountains there, boy?
Yeah, I deserve it.
I'm just a salty sailor now. That's basically how I look at myself. I'm just retired and salty.
You're a married man with dogs. Your priorities are straight.
Get on the dang lawn with your
me and Dave are still eating ramen noodles, playing with knives all day. So.
Yeah. Now I play with ball and stuff. It's really taking over.
Do you do Ultimate Frisbee any longer?
Actually, now this season, we're probably going to take it off because we're doing this thing called 9 Megan. So 9 Megan is a 4-day, 40 kilometer a day rock walk.
Wow!
And it's in Netherlands, in the middle of the summer, middle of July. Oof. And we're starting to training for it. So this year we're not going to do frisbee because if you get injured, then we can't do this thing. So
right.
Frisbee is a very injury-prone sport. So
yeah.
Oh yeah. 100%.
Where I broke my wrist, broke my shoulder a couple times. So
must be nice to have that universal health care then, huh?
Yeah, well, it is,
Well-
but it sucks missing work of it. But now I have a university union job where if I do get hurt, I get paid time off.
Oh, perfect. Perfect.
Oh, it's great. I have long-term disability. We call it long-term disability. So if I hurt myself and I'm off for like, I don't know, 6 months, then I get paid.
Yeah.
Jeez.
All I'm saying is that wrist bumps would not be what they are today if you did not break your wrist.
Well, that really actually that was in a time when I was doing more rev stuff, and that really forced me because it can't do any transfers.
Yep.
Really forced me to do a lot of rev tricks.
Yeah,
and that was a hard path. Like rev didn't pick up for a while.
Yeah.
It only started to pick up when I started posting stuff on Instagram.
Yeah, I was about to just say that.
When the Instagram kids kind of all picked up, like the first crowd, so like Joe.
50 Blades too.
Yeah, Belly Freak.
He's big on that Belly Freak. Yeah.
Yeah. So all those now they're like OGs. Like Jesus. But
yeah, it's
Right.
crazy now, man.
They picked up revs, and that became kind of like a rev was like in every combo then.
Yeah. Even
I think
now,
it's really difficult to see a high skill freestyle and not see a little bit of rev involved.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
it's
Yeah,
very
for
rare.
sure. It will become too static if you don't see it, or
Yeah.
too repetitive in the same direction.
You got to have direction changes. Like
But
that's
I
just
think
part of
rev
the art.
existed before. Rev existed before we really dug into it.
Oh, yeah.
But it
No,
wasn't
100%.
really. It was more like just a change up. Like the
Yeah.
orbit existed, but the orbit was just a single rev thumb roll on its own.
Yeah. Yeah, you had some reverse tricks, but I mean, you can even say that momentum style wasn't even that big then. I mean, you still had Stu and Fake doing some, a lot of momentum stuff. Entropy had some stuff like that, but it still wasn't huge, man. It wasn't until I would say late FA days that momentum style tricks that you see most of the time now were really big, because it was all about ricochets back in the day.
Yep.
It's where like tech and flow kind of like met, and when Rev really opened up that door where you can be super techy and super flowy at the same time.
Yeah.
Right.
Before Fake was super flowy, but it was mostly all one direction, then ricochet back in that direction.
Exactly.
And
Yeah,
now
maybe
you can
one
use
or
the
two
Rev.
tricks. Yeah.
But I push it way too much. Like everything I do in my life, I go extremely 100%. So when I dug into Rev, it was like Rev, or like backhand bumps, or it was all just backhand tabletops. I can never do all my styles in one trick. It's only like one style per combo.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it was a big complaint on people because that's basically, I just obsessed about one thing and then, all right, this is a tabletop combo.
Well, it kind of goes back to what we were talking about earlier with, like if I have a 32 in my hands, no hate everybody, but when I have a 32 in my hand, there's just certain things I'm not going to be able to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not.
Nice. Yeah.
I'm not going to be
I
able
love
to
the
do
32.
like flow. I'm not going to
It's
be
not
able to.
It's not a competitive flipper. That's what it is.
Well, I'm not going to be able
There's
to like.
flippers, you can
But it's
flip
a
every
cool
fucking
knife.
Balisong, but then having a competitive Balisong is a different ordeal altogether.
I still think I could kick just about anybody's ass with a 32 or a 53.
Nah.
Yeah.
The 32 is underrated.
I even challenged people. Well, here's what's funny about it, because I can't even call people out on it. If I were to say, hey guys, I'm going to battle you with a 53, the thing is, if I lose, I have nothing to lose. It's like, oh well, you took an alpha beast and you beat somebody with a 53. Whoop-de-doo. But the person who's competing against me, if I kick his ass, he has everything to lose, because there's nothing for him to win. So it's an uphill battle.
Is there a fly tie scale for 32?
Yes. Yep.
Is there a fly tie scale for 32 that have extensions? No, you get
It's just a
32
51.
extension.
Yeah.
I think the
with
62
a thumb
re-handles
blade.
with like the extra long handles looks like super goofy. The blade looks like super
yeah.
chody on those big handles.
Yeah.
That's just my personal preference.
Well, then you got
think
the
if
liners
you-
that aren't going to be the same length.
Well,
might
on
be able
the
to take-
62s, they're like re-handles rather than like having liners.
Well, yeah, I mean, the
I
62s
think-
don't have a liner,
But
though.
yeah.
If you took, say, a 32, because I think the 32 blade is thinner than a 51. So if you took the 32 blade and all of the 32 hardware, say Zen pins, pivots,
put it on a 51.
Put it on 51s, you would end up with like this. You ever see those California legal things that are like, the
oh yeah, just like the stubby blades.
Yeah,
Reminds me of the
like a can opener or something.
Cold Steel Espada XL, like Cali version. Like the
That's
handle's
exactly
like this big, but the blade's like this. Obviously, our listeners can't, discern how many inches I put up with my fingers, but it's very, very small.
You guys seen the sock video? Yeah, that's small.
Well, I don't know if it's that small.
Yeah, about twice the size.
Another iconic battle that me and I was involved with too was the editing battle that you KZ had.
Oh, he stomped my ass. He did so well.
Those were good videos.
Well, that edit was just astronomical.
Yes, man. I learned a lot from that
Battle
one.
Cuts was, I think, KZ's video.
I think that was the best thing to come out of BT, in my opinion, is everybody, and that was Vince's thing. I got to give Vince a lot of credit for that, is he didn't want a bunch of shit videos coming out of B-Tech. So
all of the Friday night fights were excellent. Battles were done on BT so well.
I think one of the disservices that Instagram and all of this Facebook and all this has done to flipping is you don't have staple videos anymore. If you talk to some of the OGs, they have staple videos that they remember watching when they grew up, and they'll still go back. Orange Shorts.
Do you remember my FACOT promo video? Where everyone had clips in it?
Oh, yeah.
For me,
Yep.
For me,
there's a bunch,
actually
so I don't know.
semi-viral. Like, that one actually got like 15, 20,000 views pretty quick.
I still run with that philosophy when I'm making videos now, whether it be an exhibition video, which I haven't done in years, or if it's a review video. I try to make it entertaining with the edits and the action sequences and all that stuff. Probably one of the biggest things I took away from B-Tech was learning how to make entertaining videos that captured the audience.
Yeah. But that's kind of where I was getting at, is now, you could spend 5 hours editing a really good video and people are going to forget about it in a week.
Right.
It's just
the
dedication
vice versa,
to a good video.
On B-Tech, if you uploaded a video of you just like flipping a knife over your bed, like you're probably gonna get like fucking flamed.
Oh yeah.
Like that's just the way things
I don't know.
I'm so hard. I think that's why I'm so hard on Reddit. Like most of my comments are like, "Make your bed," or
Yeah.
How about you do that with a live? How about you do that with a live blade?
Yep.
Right?
Thank you. Yes.
Trainer videos to me, like
I skip right past them.
Have a place in the community, but trainer videos, I always say, like, it's like juggling torches that are meant to be on fire, but they're not on fire.
Yeah.
Right. Look, I get it. You're skillful, but they're not on fire. So
yeah,
you kind of look stupid.
Yeah. Well, what's crazy about it, like, if you say you're trying to do, I don't know, just come up with something. You're trying to do a quadruple scissor or something like that, which pretty good goal to go after. Like, if you were to fuck up pretty hard on your third scissor, you're not going to be able to do that for a week or two, because that's a pretty hard fuck up, especially if you scissor the blade.
You're going to be like on fucking Todd.0.
Yeah. Mark of thy beast, by the way.
He's such a little bitch sometimes, man.
Oh man. But
they edited the original audio, for the show, because like the original audio for that video, he like whined or whatever. Like the audio was just really bad. Like he was like a little bitch, and then they didn't put that audio in the show. Like, they didn't get him whining.
Still got him on Tosh.0 though.
He did too, yeah. BRS got on fucking mainstream TV.
Yep.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
they've had a few things, I think. It's been pretty wild where things have gone, man. I never thought I would get paid to go into a competition, or paid to, fly out to Las Vegas to flip a knife that doesn't even exist yet, quote, it's just wild. I mean, it's not like I was making an income from this. Let's just make that clear, you know.
Well, I think everybody here has gotten things for doing things for flipping one way or another.
yeah.
So I don't think you know.
You can't hide. There's no hiding that. Like I've never hidden
Right.
We
my
all still
relationship
have our
with
full-time
DRS.
jobs.
Yeah, exactly. I have 3 jobs right now, so like I can't right now, and that's kind of why my focus has gone away from flipping because it never became fruitful or even like a lost interest in just trying to better myself as an online community because there's so many hours put into my like Balisong career, nothing really came out of it, and I could have pursued it, but really it would have been an uphill battle the whole time.
100%.
Believe me, it is.
So basically now I just play Kendama because it brings me joy more than flipping does. I don't get cut up like all the time.
Yeah.
I get addicted to the slack of the ball going the spike, right?
Yeah.
And it's the same idea. You got tricks and you just go for it. So.
And kind of back to what I was saying earlier, I think it kind of goes to that progression thing. You've almost every Kendama video I've seen you put out, you've progressed. You know what I mean?
The last one I saw, I was blown away. I was like, "What? That is intense."
It's so funny because like you see some of these things, and I'm kind of full of myself. I like to think that I can do a lot of skillful things fairly quickly, and man, the second I got that Kendama in my hands, I just felt like an idiot,
That's how I feel every time I try and pick up a yo-yo again. I used to be good, and then I pick it up, and it's just not anything I used to be anyways.
The skateboarding did an analogy back in the, I think Ronnie Mullen was talking about, he talked about a window where...
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
If you can imagine something in your sport, you can do it, basically. So that's how I felt in flipping, where the problem was not being skilled enough. The problem is finding new tricks, basically. Yeah. And that's being in the window is where if I can think of something, I can do it.
Yeah.
So and I was in that window for so long. I was in that window for like 6 years.
Yeah.
Eventually that window just closes and you're just like, man.
Yeah. One of the things, probably one of the craziest things and most inspiring things I heard from skateboarding was Bucky Lassick. If you guys don't know who that was, he was a pretty OG guy as far as
he was in Tony Hawk's Underground 2 or Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2.
Pretty much all of them, dude. Yeah. And he was saying that this is actually the point I was getting to, Billy, is he said that Tony Hawk's Pro Skater did so much for skateboarding that people don't even imagine because obviously you can't do tricks that you do have in that game sometimes where you're like jumping off of a 5-story building onto a rail and doing a board slide. It's not going to happen. But one of the things that came out of having Tony Hawk's Pro Skater is, say you would go up a half pipe and do a kickflip, and then you could do another kickflip, and then a pop shove it or something like that, and then land. So nobody really did that before Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, and then people kind of realized that this was actually a reality. You could go up there and do a kickflip and then a McTwist. You could go up and just do a trick after trick, and then kind of start combining things together.
I saw that because back when I was growing up, skateboarding was really taking up like the skate nags and stuff, and I thought about back in the day, like it was just doing one grind. Now people, if you look on, like I follow kind of skateboarding, like in social media.
I definitely do.
Now it's all about like Coca grind back to and like changing the grind midway through, just like you used to do on fucking
with a big flip out.
Oh yeah, exactly. Big flip out or like flip in, flip out. Like it's all standard now. It's all just like sure you'll have the same idea. You'll have vert ramp guys. You'll have park guys. You'll have street tech guys. You'll have flat crown guys. You still have all those in skateboarding, right? And they're all just pushing so hard to get better and better and better.
Yeah.
You see that in Balisong. This is like everything.
Yeah. Yeah, I think like I said before, it's a lot harder for one to differentiate tricks between like we said before with dancing and things like that. But you also have that your own type of plateau where you don't see yourself necessarily getting better, but you really are. You know, where you might have screwed up, 2 out of 10 8-ball to helixes. Now you're messing up pretty much none of them. Short of a stupid mistake.
That's how I explain it to multiple people. Like, I don't flip every day anymore. I used to. But
same.
The reality is I don't flip every day anymore. But if I take one knife anymore, I pick up a knife. It's like riding a bike. I don't think about it. I can still do all my tricks. Still go and do all my rev chaps and thumb chaps, and it's all muscle memory. It's ingrained in my fingers.
Honestly, I think it's pretty important to kind of stay away from it if you're been in it for a while, because you get stuck in so many ruts. And one of the ruts I get stuck in a lot of is not thinking about what I'm flipping, and I'm just going
on autopilot.
And I'm not doing anything. I'm doing like an 8-ball and a full twirl and a ladder or something like that. But when people see me do it, I mean, to me, it's just stupid. But people are like, "Oh my god, it's so smooth and so fluid." And it's like, dude, I'm not doing anything.
Well, like one of my TV videos, the one that went viral, it's not a specifically good video. I just kind of went on a hike, and in a couple hours, I just put the GoPro up and did a couple tricks. Like, I didn't plan out any tricks, but it went viral like somehow. And people were like, "Oh, that's pretty cool." I'm like,
it's
not really a video.
Right. Yeah, it's hard to make new videos because, for myself anyways, it's hard to make new videos because I find myself telling myself, okay, you're going to focus on this trick, you're going to focus on that move, and inevitably I just go back to the same old.
I mean, after a certain point in time, right, when you've made as many videos as us four have, like, it's really hard to say, hey, how am I going to make this video different than any of the other 300 videos I have out?
Yeah, no kidding.
And every video sets a bar, and you have to keep raising that bar, and other people will call you out on it if this video isn't as good as your previous video.
That was my favorite thing that Choker said. He was like, "Man, all you guys are outdoing yourself with every video, man. I just try to make every video shitty." That way I don't have to beat myself every time.
I think my standards was always kind of low when it comes to videos. I never really excelled trying to make really... And I think if I did, I think I probably would have been more successful, and I probably would have been more motivated to say, but, like, ultimately, I was there for the guys, like, I was there for the boys, like, trying to, like, impress them.
There for the boys, yep.
The
honestly,
people who watch me on YouTube and Instagram, great, I love it, but really, I'm trying to impress you guys.
I think that was the biggest thing with a lot of the, God, I kind of hate even using the term, but the OG flippers, is everybody came for the flips. We gave each other a lot of shit. I mean, we did, but it gave us such a huge sense of camaraderie to the point where it wasn't about us flipping anymore. It was about, flipping with our homies.
Right.
I think just about everybody on the BT and the flipping arena could arguably consider each other family. Yeah, for sure. It's we're sitting at like a minute or an hour and a half, and I was really trying to limit these to. Hey, I'm not too mad that they're late. I mean, this is great conversation. I'm having a lot of fun,
long is fine.
It seems like everybody is too. So, but we all have our time constraints and stuff like that. I'm thirsty and I got to take a crap. So.
Yeah, I think it's a good time to wind down. So Nardath,
my WoW addiction.
Nardath, where do you want to be found on the internet? Instagram, YouTube?
If you want to be found.
Well, see, now my Nardath account on Instagram is basically dead. I'm not using my Nardath account. I'm still posting videos on YouTube periodically. It's mostly Kendama. The account that I'm using on Instagram now is called Nardama. So Nard, so NARD_AMA. So it's basically just a Kendama account that I just periodically post. But I still go on my Nardath account and BT and Brody and Tater on Instagram as well.
You also have the NL Kendama, Newfoundland, Labrador Kendama.
Yeah, see, that's the account that I made into Nard Kendama. I just
Okay.
changed the name. I just
Okay,
changed
cool.
to Kendama. It used to be Kendama NL.
Yeah.
But now it's Nard.
I was like, who's trying to impersonate Frank on Instagram then? Like, because like I've seen another account before.
Yeah. Well, man,
so I've been using that one just because it's my Kendama process, and like this one too, I've been doing this challenge. It's called 28 Tricks Later, and I think it'll be cool, something to do for Nines next year.
I like that.
Basically, it's a video a day for the month of February, and the whole premise of the 28 Tricks Later is to use a new one. So use a new Kendama at the beginning of the month, and you use a trick a day, and you post a new trick for you, basically like an unlock. That's what they call it.
Cool.
But so that'd be a cool thing for Knives. But
I
like,
dig it.
In the month of February, like the amount of content, Kendama content, goes like.
Yeah.
Everyone posts a video a day.
Cool. Well, Nard, thanks for being on, man. Thank you so much for what you've done for the community, and
yes,
you know, I don't think anybody can argue about what you've done for the community and where you stand, no matter how unactive you are now.
Yeah, boy, that's it now. I troll, Reddit.
Yeah, we all have a
And
Fighting
we
the
love
good
you for
fight.
it.
Yeah, you never know. You never know. Blake show is gonna happen, again someday. I hope so.
Right on.
Yeah, I hope
all right,
so,
guys,
man.
We're gonna call it. See you later, guys. Balisong Underground, Nardath, Billiam, Phoenix, Faulty. Take it easy, guys.
Peace.